My name is Denis Garan. I have a simple question for all the candidates, and it's a yes or no answer. You can raise your hand. Are you in favor of the tar sands oil development?
No.
Okay. Raise your hand if it's no. Are you in favor of developing the tar sands?
Here or generally?
Generally in Canada?
Yes.
Yes?
I'm certainly not in favor of subsidizing it.
Yes?
Oh dear.
No subsidies.
Are you in favor? Yes or no?
Well, I mean,
It's just a simple question. So there's a follow-up question to it. Okay, the follow-up question is, if you're in favor of it, do you commit your family, your children, and your grandchildren to drink the water that comes downstream from that development? And the press is here, can we record this? And can we also commit your Prime Minister or your leader of your party to drink the water that comes down from that thing? As you know, the cancer rates are going up like crazy for the cities that live down that. So I'm waiting for
well, I can certainly say this. You don't have to be a wingy lefty to oppose new development of the tar sands. Peter Lougheed, a former progressive conservative premier of Alberta, Denis, has called for a moratorium of new development. So what I propose personally is that we certainly, before we go well into using taxpayer subsidies, because right now the tar sands are subsidized, both in terms of tax rates and in terms of subsidies. What I would do as your member of parliament is end those subsidies immediately, put that money into renewable projects, well, you know what? Absolutely not, because I've read the Pembina Institute studies with respect to the tar sands. I'm concerned with that too, and absolutely not, because I have concerns with the ecology of that economy and the economy of that ecology. So I share your concerns with respect to that, and I certainly don't want to see any new development until we've studied it. And I wouldn't drink the water.
Hello. I didn't head your question. The deal is?
If you're in favor, you drink the water downstream.
Oh, well.
And you commit your children and your grandchildren to the same.
Let me finish,
Is this
please.
raw water or
No, he's speaking about the water, the affluent that goes into the Athabasca River Basin, that goes into Lake Athabasca.
Cancer rates are up in those areas.
No, I understand that. What we have to do is hold the developments to the plans they put in place. They come out with their socioeconomic impact, and we're starting to get more into my end of it here. They come out with their socioeconomic and their environmental impact assessments, and we have to hold those developers to do what they say they're going to do. And until they prove that they can, or that they will, I'm not suggesting there should be a moratorium on oil sands development, but I am saying that they should be held to the standard that they agree to. That's why I asked you if you were talking about the existing developments or the new developments. The simple fact of the matter is that Canada is a global powerhouse as far as resources are concerned. If we want to have the things that we have and we take for granted as families and as individuals in this room, a lot of that is going to be derived from resources, whether it's oil sand, or it's gas, or it's timber, or it's mining of other metals and whatnot. But we have to hold those companies that receive those permits, especially because it's a germane question, because Department of Fisheries and Oceans are the ones that are responsible for that portion of the equation. It is the one portion of oil sands development licenses that have nothing to do with the provincial government. So we have to hold them to that standard. I lived in Fort McMurray for quite a time. And I moved to Moose Jaw, back to Moose Jaw. I'm from Moose Jaw. I moved back to Moose Jaw 6 years ago because I had issues with the continued rapid pace of development, and the fact of the matter was no one was really keeping an eye on what they were doing. And I'm actually heartened to see, I'm not by any means am I anti-development, but I'm heartened to see that the spotlight is starting to be shown on the issues.
You're not against it, Tyler?
Pardon me?
You're not against it, why aren't you drinking the water downstream? Take the consequences.
Next up is Larissa.
Thank you for the question. My answer is very clear. We need a moratorium on tar sands development. We need to phase out the development that is occurring already as well. I would never drink that water, nor should anyone have to. People are dying. It is absolutely a tragedy what Fort Chipewyan, the people of Fort Chipewyan have endured. I have stood beside activists from Fort Chipewyan. I've spoken and heard their stories of how their community has fallen ill. And it's been a community that at one point was fragmented and now has come together because of the high rate of cancer, rare cancer, that their community is experiencing. Tar sands development, there's no way to make it green. It is dirty oil. It is not ethical oil. We do not need tar sands oil. The United States military needs Saskatchewan's tar sands oil. We do not need tar sands oil. There is no economic rationale for the tar sands development, and also it totally sickens me to know that our government of Saskatchewan just gave $30 million of public money to the University of Saskatchewan for nuclear research to develop small nuclear reactors which will be used to power tar sands development. I wish I was kidding. I really wish I was. It's this nightmare that I like to say that I'm lucky that I am from Saskatchewan, born and raised here, and will not leave here because of issues like the tar sands and nuclear that need people to stand up and say, no, we do not need tar sands. We need a moratorium. Thank you.
In response to your question, I have here oil sand facts from the Oil Sand Development Group, and they talk about water, and they talk about the purification of water, and how some of the water is not purified, it's not recycled, it's simply emptied into the Athabascan River with the approval of the Alberta government. So I'll give you this little pamphlet. They have a whole bunch of lists here where you can get further information by simply
Can I get your signature that you're committing? You're committing to drink the water in your grandchildren?
once it's been treated, this is water treatment. Yep.
Okay.
And in Washington on NATO issues. That takes time away from the House. I wasn't there to be in the House. Two things happen basically on the Hill. You were either in the House and watching people read the newspaper or do a crossword puzzle, because there's only 5 in the House at that time, and other folks are in the lounge. So you can busy yourself there, or you can do work for your constituents. I choose to do work for the constituents. That's why I'm not in the House. I work from about 8 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night. During that time, we acknowledge all the emails that come, all the phone calls that come, all the letters. We email back, we phone back. I think you should be aware of that, because I think there's been some, I guess, insinuation that maybe I didn't do the job that I was paid to do. I certainly welcome any of you that happen to be in Ottawa if you decide to return me as your member of Parliament, and we can move forward with all sorts of things.